All right, welcome everyone to episode 114. Link of Time G goes deep. That's right. We have a guest, first guest of the pod. Technically, he's been on the pod probably more than anybody else ever will due to his work for us. But welcome, Link of Time G.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
So,
all right.
Busy week in Destiny. Season of Deep kicks off. Little special trailers dropping yesterday. Did you see where they sent out like a special like quest to like Dr. Lupo and Darkness and all that stuff?
I completely missed that.
Yeah, they sent them like a big puzzle to do, like decoding stuff. I just seen I've seen Lupo's YouTube video, and I haven't had time, work to dive into like how is it progressing? Did they actually get it finished already, and stuff like that? So, yeah, I mean, that was like a minus 800 favorite that Lupo was going to be involved in a Bungie extraction shooter,
Yeah, yeah. I would say. I mean, who else? Who else would you target? It would be like definitely be Lupo, and I know I know Doc played a little of Witch Queen, right, when it came out.
Yeah, but the thing about Doc is he's making his own.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it Dead Drop or something like that?
That's what I was thinking too. But I think they'd have to involve like the trials guys that do the most streaming consistently.
I thought maybe does
they-
Tifu still do stuff? Or is he?
He's definitely still around, but I don't know what his main game is. Most of the time when I see Tifu, he's playing some sort of Fortnite $100,000 tournament challenge thing. What about Shroud? Doesn't he play a lot of the Tarkov?
Yeah, he just plays competitive shooters. He was playing Destiny though for
Very
a while.
well.
Yeah.
And then he just made fun of the well because he said it made the game trivial. I was like, well, it took him all of about 4 days to figure that out.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Jared, have you been responsibly watching the Celtics series?
No, not really. Kind of. It's been on the back burner. I was about to make a little bet of what if they come back and they do win the NBA title, like what? Because Jeter and A-Rod put the stake on it, So
Yeah. Well, you were probably like a huge Jeter and A-Rod guy, weren't you?
Yeah, of course. 12 years old, and the two best shortstops are on the same team. So yeah, it's just
Did you ever play shortstop?
no, it's too big for that.
I didn't think. Yeah, I know. You act like I didn't already know the answer to that question before I asked it, Jared. You were 6 foot tall at 11 years old with a full mustache. I doubt you were playing shortstop.
Yep.
Oh, so Zencaster, which is the website that we use in order for like audio and all that, they have switched all their things up again, unfortunately. So I will have to add the intro music of all the weeks for them to do this. Whenever we have the guy who wrote the intro music with us, I'm gonna have to put it in like after the fact. So unless Jared is aware of some way he can play it through the YouTube version.
Can you play it through your mic? Through playing?
I'll try it, and then you guys can just thumbs up or thumbs down me.
Wait,
We can go from there.
Can you? Yeah.
I guess we could probably try it in the pre-show, right?
Yeah.
Hold, please.
So I don't know how I would play it without screwing up the recording.
Yeah. Okay, let me think.
All right, how much fishing you been doing, Link?
I fished enough to catch an exotic fish. I
Okay.
caught one.
Yeah.
But I was
Same.
like, how long does it take to get this blue bar filled up? And it felt like I was there for like a half hour just trying to get like
Yeah,
bar filled up.
We got lucky. Jared and I, we found a hole with 3 other dudes already there, and then one. So there were like a bunch of us fishing,
Nice.
and so the bar quickly just and then it maxed out because people started catching legendary fish, and then it started filling up more, and then we both almost back to back got our exotic fishes.
Yeah, actually, I've seen
but it was
exotic
we got
fish
lucky.
be caught when the bar wasn't full. Like it was like a fourth
Yeah.
and a half,
Yeah.
and then at a full. I've seen exotic fish be caught.
Okay, let me try this. You guys tell me how this works.
No.
Real
Are you
choppy.
hitting the mute button while it goes?
Is it no, I'm not actually. I think it's the let me try this. Hold on.
Same thing. It's choppy right there.
Let me try to turn the volume down here.
Well, now you're quiet, Fox.
Hold on. And should be coming back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're back.
I'm back.
By the way, question: when you were fishing, did you get the swarm of the fish at any point? Like where it was like, oh, the fish are swarming and they're all jumping
when
out of
it
the
gets
water?
maxed out. We hit that real fast with that group.
I don't know. The group I was with yesterday and the EDZ, some warlock, I'm not going to drop any names, but they were throwing arc grenades and I couldn't see when the bobber would go under and I couldn't read anything. So it was like, oh, hey, look, an empty hook. And
That'll be me from now on. Thank you.
You know, I thought it was just like when you shoot fish like in a barrel, like with dynamite, or like in a pond, they all float to the top. You know, just maybe we're trying to do that.
Just throwing his lightning staff in there.
oh.
All right. So since I am too stupid to figure out how to be able to do this, what I am going to do, we'll do the intro, and then I am going to stop the recording, start a new recording. You guys won't have to do anything on your end, but I'll have to like stop and then start a new one. That way I kind of have like different tracks that I can place out because I'm dumb. I know exactly one way to do this. And when that one way does not work, things get interesting. what takes me like 45 minutes, Link could probably do in like 2 minutes, I would say. That's including the time of like all the render, like loading all the stuff in and everything.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. You guys ready to let the dogs out?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh, just to be sure, Fox, are you starting the introduction of Link, like asking him?
So I'm going to, yeah. I'll start that up on the way back. All right, about to start it. Jared, you good on your end? Everybody have squiggles on Zencaster?
I think so.
I don't see my squiggles. Do I have squiggles? I can't see squiggles. I
Yeah,
see flat line.
you have squiggles on my screen. Chat
I
talk.
can't see my squiggles. Oh, I
I
can't
see
see
your
my squiggles.
squiggles. All right. Whoa.
Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 114 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is May 25th, and I, the Destiny bad boy, have returned with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared.
Hello, everyone. Just been doing some fishing, which is pretty crazy to say that we are doing fishing in Destiny 2.
And the Chronicler himself, chadocero.
We got some spicy lore from the armor this season, so we'll get into that a little bit later.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you probably noticed somebody else with us in this is an expanded fire team today. For the first time ever, we have a guest with us, Link.
Hi.
And if you're watching on YouTube, take us on the road, Spotify, iTunes, other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us a bunch of friend requests. That way we can play games together. We have the TWAB from Sam this week. But before we get into that, let's listen to our intro music from everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on our YouTube right now or on Twitter at LinkofTimeG. Link, do you have something on your Zencaster there to like join?
I do. It booped me out.
There we go.
And then it.
Yep. Okay. Getting ready to click it, and then we're going to start in on the show. 3, 2, 1. And great intro music. I'm sure all of us, we all love to hear that every single episode. But let's talk to the guy here before we get started on everything. I know this is a huge week, but we really want to take this time, highlight Link here. Link, thank you for joining us. You're the first ever guest ever. Yours is the only other voice that's ever been on this show. Whenever you added it to our second intro music there. So say hello. Tell us about yourself a little.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, what do you want to know?
So let's start off. Where can people find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter and YouTube at LinkofTimeG. You can also follow me or find me on iTunes and Spotify under Leaks, and that's LKIS. And yeah, I just kind of post everything everywhere. So if you find it on YouTube, there's a good chance it's probably going to be on Spotify and iTunes as well.
Smart there. The guy tapping his big brain here. So how long have you been doing music? Like specifically, like are we your first podcast music people? Have you done work with other content creators? what got you into all this. Just give us a like 2 minutes on kind of how all this came to be.
All right. Well, I started doing. Well, I've been playing music my whole life since I was about like 12, and then after I got out of the military, I doubled down on music and started making friends in rock, and then Destiny came out, and I fell in love with the soundtrack. So that kind of like started developing. Like, okay, do I want to do like soundtrack stuff? So I dabbled in the thought for a long time, and then eventually I just kind of pushed into it. And then along with doing the soundtrack stuff, I was doing EDM stuff. And this is the first like podcast intro music that I've ever done. So I know the last song I did, I was coming off of trying to transcribe the Witch Queen music box, which was like really cool because that kind of like that helped me blow up a little bit. And then I worked with Obi Katie Cat on her stream, and we did Survive the Truth together. And after that, I showed her some of my Final Shape Lightfall stuff that I'd been working on, and she thought it was really good and that I should finish it. And it was always like one of those ideas that I just kind of kept there, but I was like not very confident in it. But anyways, I finished it, and then that kind of blew up, and then I've just been dabbling and getting orchestrations kind of more tight and more sounding like Destiny, if you will. I think I answered that right.
Yeah, for sure. So I know Jared and I and Chado here, we've all kind of talked like we think that we got in really early on somebody that's gonna like really pass this small podcast up. So we just want to say like thanks, man. Like we appreciate all your work. I can't imagine how many hours you put in to do this, but we do really appreciate it. Did you have any questions, Jared or Chad, that you guys had?
Yeah. So since this is still a Destiny podcast for now anyways, we got to know what Link is as a Destiny player. So first question, what is your main in Destiny?
Ooh. Well, it all started in 2014 when I got that squirrely hunter. So I'm definitely a hunter main. Warlock's been catching up, and I'd never touch my Titan.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So what activity do you usually find yourself playing the most in Destiny?
A lot of Gambit.
Okay.
A lot of Gambit. I love Gambit. So that's like my main juice. And then like strikes and nightfalls, but I don't know. Lately I've just been kind of cruising around patrol zones, just kind of exploring.
Did we run across each other in Gambit? Is that how we met, or?
No, we met in a Crucible match because you guys teabagged me and you thought I was gonna like start some like abuse.
It was probably me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's got Ryan written all over it.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I kept getting smacked and hazed with headshots. It was like, all right, I'm adding this guy.
It's probably because you killed me several times before, and it just happens at that point. That's all that I have. That's all that I have.
Like if Foss gets killed by somebody 3 times in a row, and he finally gets him once, the backs come out. You know, just like that aggression meter has to be.
It's exactly right. It's usually or twice really quick. That's all I need is 1 kill, and the bags are getting dropped. So I apologize years later for that. But I think it worked out pretty good for us as a podcast. So I think we should just start dropping bags on everybody moving forward.
All right, we'll see how that goes for us. I think we found the diamond in the rough here. So
yeah. This was like the 1% chance that something good came out of it.
Oh man. I have to once again apologize for Ryan's bagging. We can always hear him maniacally giggling after a little bit of him being frustrated, and then we know the bags have come out and we have to start trying harder because we are in deep after that point. But I'm disappointed that you don't play your Titan enough. Just load in, punch some stuff, and then load out. That's enough for me. That's all you got to do. Just load in and punch. You don't even have to finish the mission for the story mission this season. Just punch some stuff. But let's see. What's your favorite past Destiny 2 season so far?
My favorite past one?
Yeah.
Ooh. Does it have to be recent?
No. Any of the seasons in D2.
I loved, was it season of
Probably
Dawn? Season of the Dawn with corridors?
Yep.
I don't know. I really love the Mercury stuff. So and I get so much crap for that, and people think it's a troll, but I legitimately loved Curse of Osiris.
That's seasonal activity.
I swear to God, I was going to say, I bet it was Curse of Osiris. That was definitely.
I was leaning into it, but no, I enjoyed that. I like the seasonal activities where I think what it was for me that is my favorite season is because of the whole community puzzle for Corridors of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just started going to college and I was taking Japanese, but I remember watching everybody work on this and then, coming back and helping with screenshots and stuff. It was it was really cool and it was special just for that. And I love memories like that when it comes to Destiny. So it's just seeing the community like that, and it's just kind of, I've been waiting for those moments to come back. I'm hoping they do.
Yeah. The Corridors of Time were definitely a good memory. I remember playing a board game with my roommates, watching a dude just sleep because he'd been awake for 30 hours. And my roommate's like, "What are you watching a guy sleep?" And I'm like, "He was doing stuff. He'll start up again soon."
Are you watching a guy?
I gotta be there for that.
Is there a worse time? Is there a worse time for your pros?
Yeah,
see what you're watching on the internet.
He was working on it. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna take a nap." And then she happened to look after he was fully in bed. I was like, "Okay, all right."
Unfortunate.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions? If not, we've got Link's he's gonna stick around with us the whole show this week, and we have a monstrous show. I expected it to be a big show. I did not expect everything that's coming. Yeah, so, Jared, take us to the TWAB, my guy.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it here. Man, the header of the TWAB. If you have not seen the teaser trailer from the PlayStation Showcase, and if you want to somehow stay completely spoiler-free of everything Destiny, that only let it happen in game, I don't know why you're on the internet. But here we are. So that is your only warning, and we're just moving forward. Ikora is sitting there with her ghost, which is very important in this little image here. So getting in onto that, Fox was a courageous soldier for us watching the PlayStation Showcase, and then started blowing up our phones. Hey, Bungie's releasing stuff right now on the showcase. And they dropped the marathon trailer, which we'll be getting to later in the episode. And then next was a teaser trailer for the Final Shape showcase on August 22nd. And in that little teaser trailer, Ikora's talking to somebody around a campfire. And who is that? That is back from the dead. What is dead may never die. Cade 6. And
yay.
Okay.
Woo.
Here we go. And as we see Cade 6, it looks back up into the sky, and it seems to be the one on the other side of the traveler portal that the Witness made. So, looking to Chad to maybe fill us in at anything like that, but we need to know about what actually happened, or we know nothing about.
I mean, he has an effect on his eyes that is similar to the effect that's on the Ace in that trailer. It's pretty Taken-y to me, but it doesn't have the dark flame outside of it. It's just light. So there's more to look at there and digest on it. But I had the same reaction as Ryan, and I'll definitely talk about it a little bit more later. But as of right now, we don't know too much. We just know they're on the other side of that portal, which, based on the beginning of this season, we know is currently not possible for a typical Guardian. We also know that if he's currently dead and is on the other side, people are like, well, is that like death? And it's like, well, no, Ikora is there and her ghost is also there. So she got through, because if she was there, her ghost wouldn't be, and her ghost would bring her back. So we know she somehow got to the other side with her ghost, but we'll probably get into more of that. Obviously, August 22nd is the major date we're going to be looking at when they're going to talk more about it. So I'm definitely excited for that.
Question for Cade's gun and his eyes. It kind of reminded me of that. I think it was the live event before we went into Beyond Light. Traveler had that huge like flush of light.
That aura thing that was going on.
Yeah, and then as it was like pulsing and like the light just kept getting brighter and brighter. It kind of like it makes me wonder if like he's like back in maybe the presence of like a ghost, kind of like because the ghosts got like the kind of glowy to them, right? Like the little white.
So like you think it's like a pure light energy kind of thing?
I think it could be. That
okay.
At least that's what
that would make sense because he was a guardian. But yeah, I mean that's yeah.
Do we have Kate's body somewhere?
We do. I mean, obviously during Forsaken, we saw him under the tarp when Ikora called Zavala a punk, a little punk bee. Yep. So we know we have his body somewhere.
So do you think it's something that if you take a body inside the portal, maybe the light energy can, a person that was once a guardian, maybe it does something like they can exist inside the Traveler?
That's a good enough guess.
So,
do you think they just hurled Cade's dead body into it?
Maybe they didn't like throw him in there. Maybe they carried him in there. But my question is, what happens if we take bitch boy in there, Crow, Aldrin?
We already saw what happened to a live guardian.
Like, do you think
they got mangled up and turned into just a pretzel?
True. And so we also have, who else doesn't have their ghost?
Saint. Osiris.
Geppetto?
Osiris, right?
No, yeah, Osiris, yeah. Because Saint still has Geppetto. Osiris does not have a I
thought you were talking about Pinocchio there for a second.
No, so that's what it's named after.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be something to play with that, as it put like the Traveler's energy, which because the Traveler has the ghost. I think it's going to be because that could also play in. You know how we've already seen our own body, like our dead body
in the corridors.
Yeah. So I just wonder if that's how they kind of work that in.
That's where Guardians go after their final death.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a reunion, or whatever.
Okay.
What if that's what the Drifters like little bank is for?
Just
they teased it. They teased it all those years ago. Like, we're playing Gambit for a reason. It's got to come back to that, I feel.
Yeah, the Gambit lover over here wants to make it for a reason.
Listen, the real question is, what got dropped faster, Gambit or the Crucible? What's been neglected? It's been neglected longer.
All right. At the end of that teaser trailer, they shows a little armor set that you can go buy in the Eververse store that is based on other PlayStation games. So the Hunter, you have the Anointed Hunter, you got Godsbane Titan, and you got
Ancestral for the Warlocks, I believe, was what it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
These were Jared. I don't think you played any of these games, but Aloy was the hunter that Aloy was from Horizon, the Horizon franchise. Super good games. You probably heard me talk about this back in like episode 15 or something when I was playing those on PC. And then Godsbane for the Titans. That's Kratos from God of War, which is still, I haven't played the second one that came out, but God of War 2018 is one of my top 3 to 5 favorite games of all time. And then the Ghost of Tsushima was I have not played because I don't have a PlayStation. I just play them when they come to PC. And that is the main character from it is kind of the inspiration for this armor set. And they're very, very expensive.
Yeah,
$20.
They've really caught up with the inflation cost this latest season in Destiny, right?
They need money, man. They're funding all these other games on the side.
True.
I mean, did they get $4 billion? Maybe, but that's not for games.
A good chunk of that just going to the people that's the higher ups that the guys that made Marathon and Halo,
right?
The original
Joe
creators.
Staten and those dudes up there.
One of them's named Pete.
Pete Parsons. Yeah, Joe Staten was the guy that left. I bet he's regretting that because he just got fired by Microsoft from the Halo franchise, or he might have left on his own. Yeah. So
we also have a Sparrow ship and Ghost Shell from Last of Us. The Ghost Shell is named the Clicker. So I watched the series. I didn't play the game. So those are out there for purchase. With this theme, cosplay is coming back for Bungie Day. So Bungie's wanting you to dress up with your Bungie interaction armor set from the past with a spin on it with another PlayStation title in mind. So if you're one of those people, I'm sure that there's going to be some really cool stuff out there. PlayStation has a lot of games from the past, so probably some really cool stuff that people can throw together. And if you post those, make sure you tag Destiny the Game on Twitter. And I think maybe Instagram does it too, but I think Twitter, you're more likely to be seen by them.
And if you want a pro tip, do something with Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal in there, and that's going to be your best bet because Twisted Metal is getting ready to come out as a TV series, and everybody's going to get super into that. So just work on that.
Just a reminder that Guardian Games did come to an end. They tell us that again, where Titans won. It's pretty obvious that Titans were going to win pretty early on. Well, I'm close. Props to them. Then we got Season of the Deep, and we have that opening scene where Sloane's got some taken ligaments going on, something swimming in the background. What all started this off, Chad, in this season?
Oh boy. Well, Sloane's been on Titan this whole time. So like I said, the armor, the lore for the season is spicy, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But she has been takenified a bit, and that gets explained in the armor. And I think it was Asha. Asha is the big psychic whale in the back. And we'll also get that a little bit more explained in the armor lore as well. But it's definitely interesting. When you walk in first and Sloane's there, she has the taken ticks, like the quick twitches that they do, when they're just standing. So you can kind of see it before you even see her. So it was really neat to see that because I already knew to look for it because I knew she was partially taken, but I'm watching her and I'm watching her head do a little quick twitch. And I'm like, I see Scions do that all the time and I don't like it. So, and then seeing the Drifter look at her like, man, like, what'd you do, sister? And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be fun. So I'm excited to see what's going on with her more and deep dive into it a little bit more.
All right, along with Season of the Deep, we have 2 activities. The first one is Salvage, which is a 6-player activity. Pretty simple mechanics for the most part. Kill ads and then carry heavy objects and go deposit them somewhere. And then we also have a 3-player activity known as deep dives. And the farther you dive down, the better the rewards. And that's the main seasonal loop, except for fishing. Fishing, you got to get bait, and you get bait from completing activities. And you get to go around. You get to go to EDZ, you get to go to Nessus, you get to go to Throne World, catch fish, and then go back to the helm, and we release them into your aquarium. So how's this initial season looking to us, guys? Is it looking good? Is it looking mediocre? Or you think it's going to be a dud?
Feels pretty good with the farming you get from fishing, honestly. Like, just being able to chill, not kill anything, and just fish. And then when I didn't even know how much loot you get when you take it back to the aquarium and you start depositing those fish, it seems like a really good farm for trying to get the god rolls. So I think this season's going to be a win. So
Go ahead, Chado.
I like fishing. I like it enough when I'm with the homies and I'm not actually on a boat or near a river. In games, I'm okay with it. And it was funny because I'm like, well, I was kind of fishing when I was playing Zelda the last week. You know, I was grabbing fish and stuff just right out of the water with my bare hands. So it was a fun time. I hung out with Jared for like 40 minutes on a fishing hole, just hanging out. It was fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My warlock would not have to have a pole. He would just be able to just snatch him right out of the water. I don't know. Salvage seemed kind of lame. Be real honest with you. I played it exactly one time, so take that for what it's worth. And I'm not really looking forward to climbing back in there 50, 60, 75 times this season that it's going to take. Deep dives. Not real fun. Matchmaking. Had a really good time playing with you guys whenever we did it last night. Is fun. Wasn't challenging. I wish there was hard mode. I do know that the roguelike stuff that they did that is allegedly coming is kind of time gated, which is a whole nother thing we can talk about. But for what we have for exactly 56-ish hours into the season, it's fine. As long as you activate the tier 3 part with the fake Toland down there. Fishing, kind of like it's kind of Minecraft fishing, seemed to me. But it's unlike anything else that we have in the game, so I didn't expect it to be some giant, intricate minigame system. So what I don't understand is if they were going to add a minigame, why didn't they add like some sort of card game to where you can card like scions or taken scions, and then they have some sort of game like that. That would be the minigame that could maybe get people in there. And then, even though we know it would be ruined with microtransactions from the Eververse store, buying packs on there, but that's the minigame they should go for, because any sort of card game people go bananas for.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 6-man activity. This is the first 6-man activity you had for a couple seasons. Like, we didn't get one with Lightfall, so if they amp up the rewards just a touch, I think it'd be just fine the way it is. It's pretty simple. It's nothing too hard. My wife is playing this season, so she actually enjoyed the 6-man activity. So she hasn't played that many, and where you had to carry the object and then you had a buddy go along with you and clear out ads as you're carrying the heavy object was like, she's like, oh, that's great. You actually have to work as a team to do something. It's not just go kill ads and then you move on to the next area, you know. So This also comes along with the new title for Aquanaut. I think that title name is kind of weak. But
all they need to do is take one A out. It would have been pretty sweet. But back to the last. Thanks, Link. To the thing we were talking about, carrying a heavy object. Do we think that's foreshadowing what raid might be coming back next season, or not?
Rhoda.
No, I have no hopes.
You don't think like Wrath of the Machine, where you got to carry the parts back in the Death Zamboni? No,
because they would have to make that type of Fallen in the game again, and they're not going to make that. They're making new IPs.
You talk about the Siva, like the Siva-fied.
Yeah.
The Devil Splicers.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Crota, honestly, and I think they're going to make it really, really hard. Because
what if they did? What if it became the most difficult raid of all of them?
Well, I think that because that first mission in the season, you have to stand on those totems or like those platforms, and they look exactly like the ones in can't even think of the name, but we're just gonna call it Crota. Think of the name of the raid.
Whenever you have to build the bridge across, is that the part you're talking about?
Yeah, that part. That's the vibe it gave me, so that's why I think it's gonna be that. So
it kind of makes sense if
I'm still gonna say
Wrath
Machine.
tried to do something to race Crota again. So there's
being more whispers in the Destiny leak scene of what raid is coming back. I'll leave it at that. You can search it out. I won't. We don't do spoilies, so
I haven't even seen that.
No spoilies.
All right, we're going to have some dates here for the rest of this season that mark down on your calendars. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, the new dungeon drops. So that is Ghosts of the Deep. The name is officially out. It's in the TWAB, so this is not a spoiler. That's the name of it. Trials of Osiris also drops tomorrow at the same time. I couldn't imagine the Sweatfest in there as the new dungeon drops. All the PvE people are pulled over to that, and then you have the PvE. You got the people that's wanting to get the paid carries out there, doing the account week hubs. I'm sure those are still out there, trying to get through those new rewards. The first Iron Banner is May 30th. Grandmasters start on June 13th, and then Solstice begins on July 18th.
The Solstice fun. Which one is that?
That was the EAZ.
Yeah.
Aerial Zone.
Isn't that the one that usually coincides with like the end of the year wrap up stuff? Like the MMXXII.
The Moments of Triumph.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was
Yeah.
looking for.
No, because that one is one that you can do. Like, that's not an event. That's just a thing that activates, and you can do stuff.
They're usually like in the same season, though, right?
I don't remember, man.
They used to be for
I
a long
don't care
time.
enough to worry about it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared.
I always
Destiny
thought
podcast.
I always thought it was the season. Once the last season hits, that's when Moments of Triumph went live. So before, it's usually the one like right before the next expansion.
Yeah, which used to be
Did
the
we
summer.
get one in Seraph? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It used to be the summer because we used to have a fall release. Because in fall we have the Festival of the Lost, and then we have the Christmas, and then so that's why I thought it might be that. Because Moments of Triumph is usually pretty rad.
Yeah, usually you go back and have to do some of the older raids and stuff like that.
You any of you gonna be trying to go to the lighthouse with the new trials update on the card? That mercy card's got an extra forgive. I'm going this weekend. I'm doing it.
Are you doing it?
I don't know.
God
I get to
bless you.
5 games and then I just get absolutely smashed. I'm like, yep, maybe next weekend. All right.
I'm not sure I touched Crucible last season outside of Supremacy, and the first week to get Pinnacle drops, or the first 2 weeks to get Pinnacle drops. I don't think I played any other Crucible last season. Oh, Immortal came out though, right?
Yeah, last season. Yeah.
Yeah, that Immortal week I was in there, but it was just solely like I need to get to rank 8 or rank 10 or whatever it was so I could get it to drop, and then I spent all my engrams focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I never used the gun again. So I'm really glad that it was so important for me to play like 48 games of trials that weekend to never use the gun again.
Yeah, so they added a glaive and the messenger back again, and like those are 2 weapons I don't really care about. Like I think we have
The
4?
messenger is pretty good though.
Yeah, but we have like 5 crafted pulse rifles. Craftable pulse rifles.
And Randy's throwing knife also came back this season as well. And I've
But
been trying to get that.
Do they have are there any crafted that have Desperado? Wasn't that the main perk you wanted on the messenger? Something like Outlaw Desperado or something.
Not anymore. Now Desperado
Or rapid hit Desperado.
Yeah, I think that's back again.
Well, it's still good to me. It was good 4 years ago, so it's still good to me.
I think I still have mine.
We have a reminder here about Guardian ranks. So, players who have already completed the objective required to reach rank 5 will start each new season at Guardian rank 5.
Boo.
Other things to keep in mind: once seasonal Guardian rank objectives, these are ones that have the blue text, or they are reset every season, and those are not too hard to get back. That you're mostly doing seasonal activities, and then Guardian do display the previous season's rank for the entire season unless they surpass it with their latest season accomplishment. So last season you were rank 8. You came into this season, you still show up as rank 8, but if you somehow get rank 9, you will be upgraded to Guardian rank 9.
Likewise, if you made it to rank 6 last season and you did not make it any higher this season, you are still at rank 6, even though your screen shows you are rank 5. So next season, I will show as a rank 5, which I'm very excited about. But I was very bummed that I could not get to rank 4 and then rank 3 in the following seasons.
All right, that is it for the TWAB and the early Season of the Deep reactions. But it is now time for 4 likes and 4 dislikes for this week of Destiny 2. So I'll go ahead and kick us off here. My like is going to be Gathering Storm with Star Eater Scales. And then a little bonus, I bought the new Gauntlet ornament that pairs with Star Eater Scales. That looks awesome. I'm like a completely blacked out hunter. And then the gauntlet on the left shoulder, it has like red lasers coming out of it. And so it is like, it comes out of the mouth too. It's sweet. So it was worth the 600 silver. And I'm probably going to be purchasing some more silver because I need Bungie to get this marathon game off the ground.
Oh man, that's gonna be it's gonna be a 3/4 baked mailbag on that one. My like this week is the dungeon anticipation for the dungeon. There's been a lot of leaks about the dungeon as far as audio, setting, places that you are. And I'm very excited to get to see that tomorrow with the guys, which will be on the YouTube. We'll probably start 9:30 Eastern time tomorrow, if I had to guess. And it will be a blind run. So just know that it is, we will be live on there for you guys.
All right, Link, you got one?
All right. My like, for this week. I love the fact that Cade 6 is coming back because they were able to get Nathan Fillion to come back, and that is absolutely amazing. And I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. I think my dislike was with the exotic focusing that Rahul has now. I absolutely hate it because it has all the stuff in there that you can like, oh, hey, I want this, but you get super low stats, and I know that was a bug. That's probably my only thing that I dislike, because if you go into last season or the season before, I didn't get all the exotics because I was lazy from the lost sectors. You still have to go get those from the lost sector in order to focus them, and I was like, well, that burst my bubble. So that's right. About it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Lots of people were griping about the focusing. My like is Acreus and no backup plans. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've been using Heritage to get the overshield procced, and then just switch to Acreus and just start laying some beats on stuff. Just been destroying the yellow bars in salvage, just watching them just turn to dust in 3 shots, just 2.5 shots, and they're already gone. It's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it very much on my Titan. And my dislike is Cade 6 coming back. They made a big deal about him dying, and it was very poignant, and it made sense for what happened. So having someone that was important and having their death be as important as it was come back from a story perspective annoys me. They can make it make as much sense as possible, but it annoys me that they walk it back. Probably because there's so many fans that are clamoring for, oh my, like Cade's, he's alive, he'll come back, and Deepstone Crypt dropped it like, Cade's in there, we can bring him back, and I'm like, no, dude, like, it's important that he died. It's very important that happened. So walking it back annoys me from just not as a write. I obviously don't write anything, but from a story perspective, I dislike that option.
Okay, would this be worse than killing Uncle Ben off in Spider-Man and then bringing him back to life?
Spider-Man would have no motive to...
Exactly.
Yeah, because if Cade didn't die, Forsaken would never have happened. So I get that from that standpoint. I'm curious where they're going to take it, because, I mean, Bungie can make some really great stories. So, I mean, this could either be like, you know, I mean, Ikora could be dead, or it could be like Spider-Man multiverse theory, or it can just like go, it goes so many directions at this point because we don't know what the final shape is. So I'm excited to learn more about it, but I hope it's not, I wouldn't even know how to like describe it. I hope it doesn't like take away from Forsaken and the impact that expansion had when it came out. I think people are still healing.
Don't worry, you can't replay any of it. So my thing here, I want everybody to pick up their drink of whatever they have, and we're gonna have to pour a little bit out here, and that is for the Silver Fox nickname that I acquired because Bungie they've went too far. They have came out. They have taken away bright dust options for ornaments this season. Those are what 50. You know, they're just everything's it's outrageous. Everything, any chance you had to not spend money in the Eververse to be able to get things it's gone. And I feel like they are being like tacking $2 on for the season pass. The people that didn't buy the season pass, like it is just it feels very greedy, and I'm not buying anymore. So as somebody that has every ornament for the Warlock class, like all the way back, not if I can't buy it with Bright Dust anymore, I will spend no more silver on this game. So Silver Fox, thoughts and prayers.
R.I.P.
Pour one out for him. R.I.P. IP.
I'm gonna get you a one of those rubber wristbands that stays strong. I'm gonna send it to you.
WW.
Stay strong,
NRFD.
no silver.
All right, my dislike is going to be AFK players in Salvage. They're already running rampant, just trying to get that seasonal currency.
It's gonna be Ryan in a few weeks.
Getting that stuff going.
I've never AFK'd in this game, but the records show.
Didn't you do the Black Armory farm back in the day?
Nope. No, I never did the Black Armory. Like I did legit. That's why I don't have the title.
It matched you with only people that were doing it, so it's not like the stuff people do now. Like literally, it's impossible to match with somebody doing that AFK farm that wasn't already doing that AFK farm.
Yeah, that was like back in
coming from someone that did it.
Or something like.
Whenever you could put on the mask and drop your power level to where you only match made with people.
I did the Black Armory farm. I had a Destiny 2 on one computer, and while I was doing that, I was playing Destiny 1 on the other.
Nice.
All right, so that's it for our 4 likes and 4 dislikes for the week. And now it's coming up to Gambling Corner.
But I guess that's me. So new season, who dis? Dis is the champion, the undefeated champion of the Gambling Corner. Never been beat any season. Check your stats, Jared.
Sure
I
about
see you
that?
doing your. I'm sure, 100%. As Lincoln would say, I sure. You go ahead, check the stats, go back to previous episodes, and I am definitely undefeated. So, saying that, Gambling Corner, it's probably my favorite segment. Honestly, I've been a crappy podcaster here, probably for the last little bit. Haven't really put a whole lot of thought and effort. We used to have Mr. Vegas that we consulted to help with lines and things. But it's been a little different here. So, Gambling Corner, we all start out with 10,000 Glimmer. Each week we have a bet. If you ever run out of Glimmer, you must sacrifice a weapon that the other 2 members vote on of the show to see how much you get to buy back in for. So say you go bankrupt, you're out of Glimmer, and you put up like a gnawing hunger that everybody just has multiple curated rolls sitting in their vault. That's a gun that can no longer be acquired. And, that gun is going to be worth more than just a lonesome sidearm that you just have sitting around, So the other 2 people decide how much that's worth. You're able to buy back in. Each week we have something that we gamble on, and there's one winner each week. This week, the bet is going to be total deaths in the new dungeon. This is not, you are allowed to go over, so it's not Price is Right rules on this. So new dungeon, we will all be blind. A wipe would count as 3 deaths, obviously, since the entire fire team wipes. And since I won, I get to go last this, and we will let Link choose the order that we all get to gamble in. And Link, since you are the honorary number 1 guest, we'll let you put a guest in as well. And if you win, then you get to choose one person that has to delete 2 master. You have to delete 1 crafted weapon.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. That's if Link wins. That's I just thought of that. I don't know where it came from.
Personally,
but that's the Link wrinkle. The Linkle.
If he wins, I think all 3 of us needs to delete 1.
If Link wins, we all have to delete a at least level 20 crafted weapon.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna sting. But yeah.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
You're gonna do it, Chad.
So
So we're fine.
We cannot win. That's the main thing. Saying that, we're going to do a 2000 Glimmer ante. So we're starting out strong. Dungeons are something that we really enjoy. I did want to ask you guys. I didn't want to just commit you guys to this without asking, but I think that we should do another 1000 ante to who the first person to get the exotic out of the dungeon is.
Okay. I agree.
2 out of 3. Okay. Link, you can decide the order, but I'm last. So you can choose who has to guess first, Jared or Chad.
Last. For such a big winner, you should want to get the disadvantage.
Listen to how mad he gets. Listen how mad he gets because he might have to delete a level 20 crafted weapon.
Oh, I won't do anything.
He's so mad.
Well, Jared, if you would like to go first.
Okay. Okay. Been around a few of these for us day one. I think most.
Look at, before you go, look how mad Chad is up there.
Yeah, his demeanor changed. I'm flirting between two numbers right now. They're both in the 30s, so I'm trying to set it up a good way so I'm not too low, but I'm not too high. So I'm gonna go with 32 and a half.
That doesn't no.
And a half?
No, there can't be a half.
Is that where someone says
choose 32? You can choose 32 or 33, sir.
I'll go 32.
So would the half be someone that lands out of bounds and then saves themselves
No,
somehow?
it would be like if the number was 33 deaths and you chose 34 and I chose 32 and a half, I would be closer.
You're still closer? Yeah.
He's trying
I
to.
figured.
Cowardly.
That's a lot.
To be fair, we died a lot at Keitel because it took us a long time to figure out like the damage part of that.
But then how did we do on Spire? Because I feel like Spire wasn't too terrible either.
No, Spire, we just kept running it over and over and not getting damage phases. So
Yeah, that's right. We didn't die. We just kept not figuring out what to do. And it doesn't wipe you. So
right.
I know it does wipe you on a couple in the room, but yeah. I'll figure it out. So I'm guessing that means I'm next since Ryan's supposedly last. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about that number is actually pretty decent. I'm gonna go 31.
Week, you get next. You get next pick, sir.
I cut that in half. I'm gonna go with 20. No, 15. 15.
15. Okay.
He
20.
believes in us, guys.
Yeah, he's got confidence.
20 is safe because I know I'm gonna die at least 100 times in this thing tomorrow. So
That's fair.
Man, now here's a question. The easy thing
Does he go 30 or 33?
Pick on the other side of Jared was the play. And I think I'm going to do us all a solid. And you can thank me later, as hilarious as it would be to me for Chad to have to delete a 20 crafted weapon. I think that he would get legitimately mad and maybe like sit a week out if we had to do it. I'm going to go. If Wink, you went 20? Is that what you went?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 21 and just cut him out completely, assuming
We don't
assuming
smash
so.
So if we just
Yeah.
this out. Oh man.
Yeah, assuming we don't have a flawless run, just our very first try. Because you got to think, 6 wipes is 18 deaths, right? So the smart pick would be 33 if I was like actually trying to win. But just to cut out Chad having to lose 2 of those shiny. They're not. What are they? They're not ash shards. What are they for the
Send alloys.
weapon crafting? There they are.
Yeah.
Ash alloys. So, all right. So the final. Link had 20. If Link wins, we all have to delete at least a level 20 crafted weapon. I had 21. Chad had 31. Jared had 32. So Jared has from 32 to infinity. Chad has from 27 to 31. I have from 21 to 26. So Jared is probably sitting in the best shape after going first, which is unbelievable that's how it worked out. On to lore with the chronicler himself, Chadocero.
All right, like I said, we are talking about the armor of the season, the NPA Weirwalker suit. Luckily for me, all the armor has the same lore, so we can just go through and do it once, and then it's going to be broken up into 2 because they're chunky boys. So we're going to start off with the helmet. It is a diary essentially of entries from Sloan about her time since she got zooped on Titan. So starting off with the helmet, obviously. Day 0, black skies quell storms as if they are fleeing omens. Titan's pyramid dragged hurricanes across the sky like chained gods. Deputy Commander Sloan had seen faint lightning flash from deep beneath the arcology dome, timed prior strikes and their thunder to judge the storm's movement. But as she walked outside to a flash, this time there was no thunder. It had taken Sloan most of the morning after the Guardian had left to reach the surface. Waves were overtaking the rig platform, sloshing methane across the battle-marred power suit woven into Sloan's body. Hell. She straightened her spine within the suit and stared at the pyramid through her HUD, watching it displace existence around it as it clawed a distorted path through the sky. Shiahan zoomed toward her through a blur of flickering neon. Moving away from us. Shouldn't be moving at all, Sloan turned into her ghost. Let's get that perimeter set. The hive will come again tonight. Before she could move, the pyramid began shedding scales from its hull. They hovered for a moment over where they detached and peeled away, revealing obsolescent flesh. Suddenly, the pyramid emitted a wave that struck Titan, and a half-remembered tone resonated through Sloan's mind, with it lifetime. Every experienced moment in a slurry of vivid flashes, condensed into simultaneous chaotic anarchy, grasped at brief joy, anger, love, seen from where she stood. Past experiences gained new perspectives, memories best dusted with rosy haze shrank under its harsh light. Warmth too fleeting, cold still ever frigid in its isolation. And something else, sifting through it all, drawing it to order as if rearranging fractured collegiate panes into a new image. She struggled to breathe, and her suit flexed against the weight of her years, splayed out across the time in violating fashion. Then just as suddenly they were gone, faded into dreams. The sky turned black and orange like a fire screen, and thunder resonated. Sloane's body pitched forward over the platform, sinking through the air, then sea. Heavy metal was swallowed whole. Consciousness faded into the black. Her experience tumbled through sharded arrows of reality like an astral projection, even as she felt her feet still firmly planted in the present. A cascade of timeless scenes whirled by like panes of life captured in glass, an indefinite stream of consciousness. Scenes of Titan, of a vibrant seascape installation too familiar not to be memories. Not hers, but no less real. Their point of focus left Titan, dragged backwards across the lonely expanse of space to a world she'd never seen. Its seas full of vivacious promise. Its moons conceal a watcher in the sky. Its waves breed insidious appetite in the deep. There is a temptation there she craves but does not understand, unnatural and cursed. She fell again, guided through a song, a memory, an image of a dream bent into perception like a focusing lens. Unreality coated in familiar skin, an attempt at understanding. The tower, friends and comrades, Shine and Grime, all heralded return, a shadow drawn overhead, a battle delayed, returning. The tower, a time yet lived, black shadows that would fill an empty void in the sky, extending impaling blades down into the streets, pinning life in paralytic mockeries of contentment, a display that strangles agency. A serpent winds a path beneath the shadow and offers to guide. She remembers this happening, and that it had not happened yet. Day 3, the ghost of Titan walks on through sunless seas having died long ago. Repulsion lattice integrity, nominal. Oxygen sieve, nominal. Depth, 106 meters. The lettering on Sloane's HUD clarified in division. She dragged a hand through methane fluid to her faceplate, absent-mindedly trying to rub the grogginess from her eyes. Motion in the dark surrounded her, kicked up clouds of fine grit. Her headlights flared as her fingertips clinked against her helmet. A thrall came screaming into the beam of light, bubble spewing from its jaws. Sloane's eyes went wide before she reflexively flipped the thrall over her shoulder and kicked its jaw through its skull. Her power suit spooled and pushed stimulants reactively. She pivoted and caught the sword of Night mid-swing, snapping the weapon in two between the fingers of her gauntlet and driving a shard of broken blade into its chest. Another thrall crossed her headlights just before a silver streak whistled through its throat. Sloane eyed a selection in her visor, which highlighted over a 30 dead hive, slowly deteriorating in boils of tiny rumbling ignitions that sent nerve spasms through their husks. Her visor cleared the readings and snapped into a friendly. Shiahan drifted forward, hive viscera gently wafting into the sea from the slender razors protruding from her shell. You were out for days. Sloane's face wrinkled in confusion. I remember the pyramid wave. Falling, dreams. Are you okay? Hive found us like you said, Shiahan said, retracting her blades. Sloane grabbed the ghost and hugged her to her power chassis for a moment. Little killer. Really gave him the business. Shiahan chirped. Pyramid waves swept over Titan, bounced around, and a bit centralized where the pyramid stopped. Gravity went crazy, and in the ocean, I think we're a few miles from where we were when it all started. The pyramid stopped? Then that's where we're headed. After we grab some gear, Sloane said. Shiahan dipped forward. One more thing. Something's out there circling us. Not Hive. Can't quite pin it down, but it's big. Yeah, Sloane said, thinking of what went through her mind before she lost consciousness. Then let's not waste any time getting out of here. Sloane lifted herself from the ocean into a half-submerged arcology platform where she'd stowed a variety of rations and munitions since Titan's skies went dark. Her power suit clattered against the steel mesh floor. She waited for the echoes to die before taking a moment to exhale in silence. In that quiet moment, she made out a faint voice. Shiahan rose into view. Do you hear that? Was about to ask you, Sloane said, standing. She snatched first in, last out from a stow locker racked to the foregrip, then followed the voice down a barnacle-crusted causeway to an old research lab that Shiahan in tow. Fluid trickled down cracked walls surrounding rows of dead monitors. Glass reflected prismatic color from a gnarled tear in reality at the lab center, as if it had been carved from another epoch and affixed to this one. A human that didn't seem to notice them paced within the tear, standing in a fully functioning mirage of the arcology. Once he turned toward them, the tear spasmed and lurched forwards and backwards in time at erratic durations of speed. He was ripped both ways into non-existence, and the tear flittered through events like fourth-dimensional montage. The tear held steadily again, returning the man to his moment of existence. Shiahan took a note of the badge in his coat that read, Gideon Tepin, NPA, Senior Marine Biologist. Tepin looked upset and turned away before speaking. She's afraid. That's why we're all having them. Something's wrong. She's showing us what's coming in plain view. The man angrily swiped his hand through the air in Sloane's direction. It's like she's screaming it into my head. I know I'm not the only one hearing it. It chose us. He stepped forward and placed his hand on the border between then and now. I'm dreaming my own memories, but with little differences, little omens, black ships in the sky. Sloane leaned forward, hand pressed on what the living memory played out before her on the other side of the tear. She's trying to warn us. We should evacuate. We have to get her. The tear lurched again, ripped away, lost to the rushing passage of time, and blinked into non-existence. Gone. Sloane dropped her hand, jaw clenched. See if you can dig up any arcology records on this. That marine biologist, Tepin, was he in some sort of captured time fluctuation? Is that even possible? I've never seen anything like it. I'm not really sure. Shiokhan skimmed through archived records. It's under TLEV-01. Looks like a psychic space whale some biologists were studying out in the ocean. They never got accurate measurements, but this estimate can't be correct. Over 150 meters. Report says it wasn't from here, though, and it refers to a lot of visions that personnel were having, which is odd. Not a lot of alien species in Seoul until after the Golden Age. I was having dreams while I was out, Shiokhan, of some other world, the pyramid on Titan, the tower. Like I remembered being there for each one. Well, I guess it could be an ancient space whale, or sometimes the traveler gives people dreams. But are we going to ignore the obvious you were rendered unconscious by a pyramid wave explanation? No, but we've seen enough weird to knock it out. Sloan sighed. Sure, I'll log that away, Shiokhan said. You know, the readings coming from inside that field Teppan was in were consistent with atmospheric records on Titan during the collapse. What does that mean? Sloan looked back at the spot of warped spacetime. Was he real? I don't know. I just know it wasn't a simulation. So next week we'll get into more about the space whale. We'll finish off that Sloan storyline there. But what she's seeing is similar to what was on Mars. The tears that were on Mars, where you can go into the past. The ones that the witness was using to trying to find Nefeli's stronghold through the memories of old Rasputin before he deleted the records on his drive. So it's definitely important to see that, and that we know that that's what Sloan's going through there. And we also know the whale as well, since we already met it. But it's going to be interesting to hear more about what's going on there, and to learn more about the whale for sure.
All right, that brings us to the mailbag for this week. So first question here, it just says NotRyanFox. So
yeah, it actually
it says, that incorrectly.
It says Matterthon.
Oh, Matterthon. Okay.
So yeah, so I was, I really thought you guys might thank me for my service, but for watching the Destiny or the Sony showcase there, because I did sit through like 45 minutes of just pure garbage in order to just see the Bungie stuff there towards the end. I take that back. There were like 7 minutes of Spider-Man 2 that looked pretty rad, but the rest of it, not much going on. So saying that, there was all of a sudden there was a trailer that hit, and I saw kind of like something that looked like paint splatter, and I thought, man, that kind of looks like matter, because you remember we got like a little tease of that. And all of a sudden, I open up our group text that we have, Jared and Chado, and I'm like, are you guys watching this? Looks like matter. Oh my God. And then Chad starts complaining that I'm sending multiple messages instead of just one message. But, some of us could complain that one of us makes the other two of us have green text bubbles, but I don't ever do that. So here, that's happening, and all of a sudden I see this, and Marathon, which I don't know if we ever discussed it on the show or not, but I know we discussed it personally because it kind of leaked out that Marathon was getting remade, and we knew it was an extraction shooter, and all this goes on, comes out, and I watched it, and then directly after that, the Cade 6 Destiny trailer comes on, so I just rewind all of it, and my wife's like, oh my God, I knew you were going to rewind this and watch it. I was just wondering how long it was going to take. And I was like, shut up, because I'm going to rewind it again after I watch it, and I'm going to watch it 3 times now. So do that, and I watch it, and then at that point I have to rewind it again and watch all of it again. And watching the Matter trailer, clearly it's an extraction shooter, because I didn't notice like the countdown timer that was on, like showing on the back of his, like on his back or whatever, which might be your HUD. I'm wondering if it's going to be like one of those HUDless games like Dead Space kind of came out with back in the day, to where like your HUD is like on your character's body. You know what I mean? And my first thought is, oh, this is clearly what Matter was based upon. So Matter must have been the code name for Marathon. Or perhaps Matter was a different game and then they like transitioned it into the Marathon universe because it was a name that like a property that already had like cachet with people. It wasn't something they had to completely come through. I thought that it looked a little Destiny adjacent because there's the scene of like the big planet with like the smaller planet with the traveler. And then the more I watched it, the more mad I got from watching it. So I ended up very upset, especially later that evening whenever they did the get 7,777 concurrent live viewers, and then we're going to release like a 9 or 10 minute Vidoc or whatever that they did. And after I watched that, I became real mad, and I'm still going to play this game. I'm still going to buy it and probably buy the Super Mega Deluxe Ultimate Digital Edition or whatever. But I'm kind of upset. I kind of have worries about this game, but before I get into those, I want you guys to talk about your initial thoughts.
Yeah, seeing the backpacks, I was thinking of Squid Game, and like, oh, that's character number 17 or character number 30, and like that's like how many people are dropping into the area. But it made more sense that the timer actually went down. It made me think of Westworld and the intro scene to Westworld and how they make the people of Westworld. And I'm pretty sure we've talked about it, Bungie making an extraction shooter on the pod. And whenever they like put the link to the website and actually said what it was like, all right, this is great. They're going to have like a PvP game that put out there and be top of the PvP world again. Good for Bungie. And the Vidoc, I liked it. I feel like there was a couple older faces in there, and I think there's a couple guys that like I haven't heard much from on Twitter. All started to start popping up again, saying because they've been working on what is now Marathon and haven't been talking about anything for a long time. So it's pretty great to see that. Overall, I have this positive energy going in about Marathon. Not mad, not upset about Crucible at the moment. Actually seeing the work paid off. I wish they would have gave us dates. That's the only thing that I think was a negative to me.
I mean, I've always been a fan of Bungie gunplay. Their gunplay from obviously from the Halo days was excellent. It's always been really good. I didn't get to play Marathon. I wasn't allowed to play on the computers. I'd have to check with my dad, see if he ever did play it. But I don't know what that old game was even like. But I'll definitely see if they're play a beta with these folks here. See what it's all about. I'm sure the gunplay is going to be as crispy as any other Destiny or Bungie game that's come around. But I haven't played any other shooters that aren't just straight PvP like Halo style. So I have no input on extraction style games. I have no input on what's the
Battle Royale.
The Fortnite, just battle royales. I don't have any input on any of that whatsoever. So I'll definitely look more into what that extraction exactly means, see what games are currently doing it, and just so I can kind of get my head around it, because I know nothing. I know literally nothing. I'll watch the Vidoc. I haven't watched it yet. I was very busy today. But just interested in seeing it. I am sad that it is definitely pulling a lot of resources from Destiny 2. A lot. Am very happy to see that they are leaving old consoles in the dust with Marathon. I mean, assuming it comes out in the next year or two. But 2 years or more, according to Ryan's, if you're not watching.
I think 2 years is probably going to be pretty accurate.
Yeah. So we'll see. we'll see what happens. 2 years is probably a good bet because after Final Shape, after that whole year comes through, then they'll give a little bloop. So we'll see what happens. Definitely looking to hear more about it. But again, like I said, I know nothing about any game modes that aren't just here's your team, here's their team, shoot each other.
Go ahead, Link.
I'm torn on it, really. I'm excited to see it. I think one of the coolest parts I saw in the trailer, it was like at like the 40-second mark, you can see that Warlock chest from the 30th anniversary with the green orb on it, which is pretty cool. I do like extraction shooters, but it's very limited because I can't do it very long because I get anxiety and I get really angry in those types of games because I'm like, it's a whole other side to embrace because it's, I play like Tarkov. So, gunplay is going to be a big thing for that game. I'm curious to see how inventory and if they're going like the Tarkov route or if they're going like the Call of Duty kind of extraction kind of route. So it'll be interesting. I am sad because, I feel like I think the director, the main guy working on it, that's Christopher Barrett, isn't it? And he did Forsaken, right?
And Halo 3.
So, yeah.
And Destiny 1.
I worried that like with the way Destiny 2 seasons have been, like kind of like the lackluster and like minimal drip feed, that this is going to take away from Destiny down the road because we had the Final Shape and then it's whatever they decide to do next, which, I know that it's two different cups of tea, but I'm worried that it's going to take away some like spice or pizzazz that could go into Destiny.
All right. Anybody else have anything to say about this before I go in right here?
I think it's really cool how they sent the puzzles out to some people to do. I really looked real deep. I know Dr. Lupo got one of them, and he has a YouTube video out on it. So that was really cool. I think it was scripted, but Lupo's a pretty good actor.
All right. So here's my issue with this. Destiny 2, the best, if you were to say, let's go since Halo 2 or Halo 3 generally is thought of as the best mainline Halo game. I would argue a lot of people had fond thoughts of Destiny 1 somewhere around the end of D1 and the start of the Taken King. Taken King kind of really did a lot. And then Forsaken saved D2. Saved, I could argue, the entire Destiny franchise because it was in a real dark place. Warmind was good, but it was made by High Moon Studios, I want to say. They kind of took the lead on that. And then everybody at Bungie was working on Forsaken. And so here's the deal. So 4 of the key people that were responsible for Halo 3, Destiny 1, and then Forsaken have all been pulled. I can only think of 2 of the names right now, probably because I've had like 3 glasses of bourbon, like 4 cans of beer. But we got Christopher Barrett, which Link mentioned previously, who at one point kind of rose through the ranks as like the gunplay director and then became like the head of the Destiny 2 for a while. Whenever other people kind of got promoted up the ladder a little. And then he kind of slid into the shadows, working on unannounced project. Lars Bakken, not sure how that's pronounced. Apologize to Lars. Bakken. As somebody that's been on Bungie.net since literally the year 2000, 2004, 2005. These are all names that have been around for 20 years. These are the tentpole people. So they have pulled 4 people off of Destiny and just kind of sequestered them to get there. And I'm sure that they had some sort of reign over the people that they brought off of Destiny onto Marathon. So they're going to take the guys that they trust the most over to kind of incubate and do this game. And then we have, all this stuff happening with, they're taking the primarily multiplayer focused people. So Gambit, which came out in Forsaken, had a lot of potential. Remember, there were like Gambit championships that were happening. Never got touched. Never really. It got like one little update with like a new map, and we got Gambit Prime that came out after that. Crucible has been neglected. So they have basically, I don't want to use the R word. So, we have, I hate to say it, I'm not one to really complain about these kind of things. We've got the same set of weapons 2 different times in this season. Here I am talking about the taken spare rations, and Jared's like, oh, he doesn't know, does he? And I was like, what do you mean, Jared? What do I not know? And you're like, oh, there's also the other spare rations. So we have regular kinetic spare rations, and then we have void taken spare rations that's not called spare rations, but it's the same gun. So, this is like all this recycled foolishness. They've been doing this game since, Jared, what'd you say, 2018? They've been working on this. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. Like, I love Destiny. I've played Destiny since the Destiny 1 beta on Xbox One. I know Jared's been around majority of that time. Chad, I know that you came in, I think season 2 of Destiny 1, and you've been around since then, more or less. And we always knew, we always joked that people came off of, like, oh, they took all the multiplayer people and they're working on Matter. We didn't know Matter was Marathon. But now, going from all this, how long are we going to play an extraction shooter? Is this going to be a game that we can main for an entire year or 2 before Destiny 3 or whatever that is comes out? Because let's be honest, they're not going to kill Destiny. Destiny makes too much money. They're owned by Sony now, so they have to make money. Marathon is going to be, this new game that they have, obviously. But you remember all this stuff about we're listening to you? I feel like, what have been the 2 main, like PvP things that they've talked about? So everybody's wanting dedicated servers, and and everybody's wanting to get rid of old consoles. They're like, we're listening. Yeah, we're listening to all the Destiny players, and then we're going to take your feedback and put it into our new game that hasn't been there. And that just, it doesn't feel good. This is part of like the no more Silver Fox thing that we discussed earlier. I feel betrayed a little. I'm not like saying, I'm not boycotting anything. I said right up front, I'm going to buy the $120 digital edition of this game, and I'll probably buy some of the Funko Pops and probably buy a t-shirt, right? I'm going to be there. I'm going to play it. I can't imagine that I have 4,000 hours into this series, like I did with the Destiny franchise, between D1 and D2. I can imagine it's going to be like that. And if you think about timeline-wise, Final Shape, they're probably pretty close to wrapping it at this point, you would think. So they're probably looking at Destiny 3, which I had to guess. So Final Shape's going to come out in February. Matter will probably come out either like November-ish of next year, maybe February of the following year. And then we're looking at Destiny 3, probably the year or a year and a half after that. So that's going to give them like 2 or 3 years of the Destiny people to make those strikes and all those things that we need for that, and kind of overhaul that game. So Destiny's probably gonna. You got to think we probably got a year and a half of Destiny before we got a big break from Destiny, and we're going to be looking at, Marathon coming from there. And I'm not liking it. I don't like where we are, but it is where we are. I don't know. I've rambled a little. Do you guys think I'm totally off base or not?
I think that's a good voice of the people that's frustrated in Destiny. It's pretty much a nail on the head there. I think you're a little aggressive with the timeline for Marathon. I think we'll be lucky by the spring of 2025 to have a beta.
So you think they're going to be 2 years without a beta?
Yeah, I think in a year and a half we'll have a beta.
Dude, they're going to be in big trouble if that's the case. Like, they're not going to have anything at all to show.
So Final Shape.
Are we going to get any seasons after Final Shape?
Yes. So Final Shape is going to have a whole year. Again. Yeah.
I don't know about that, man.
They want people
I'm
to
not
pay
sure
that.
I agree with that.
They want to pay people to pay that $100 for the year of content.
So what do you expect the last season of that to be?
Well, it depends on what your theory of what's going to happen in Destiny. I personally think we're going to go back in time, but
so the content vault unlocks.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I don't know. I feel like if Destiny 3 is going to happen, it's going to take a lot for them to do it. Personally, I agree on the recycled weapons. I don't like that at all. Destiny is about new and shiny guns. It would be better if they could implement like a loot system similar to like Borderlands, where it's just chaos and you can literally get like whatever on whatever gun with over the combinations. I would like to see some Gambit maps come back, but it just feels like, I agree with the copy paste. I think Marathon will drop next spring.
Oh.
I'm feeling pretty confident. I would imagine they're probably going to talk about it at the next Sony event, which is in June 24th.
So are you talking about like the next showcase, or are you talking about the next like the little mini shows that they do, the state of plays?
I'm talking like the next like showcase that
So the last showcase
Sony's
before this showcase was 2 years ago. They do a state of play every 4 to 8 weeks. That's like a miniature showcase. So that's
okay.
Probably, if I had to guess, that's probably what you're thinking they're going to show at.
It's a pretty big deal because we've had Destiny for 9 years, going on 10 now, and now they're bringing Marathon back. I feel like Marathon's gonna get. I think once well, maybe not, because Final Shape drops, people are gonna want to play that. I think maybe it'll come out after that because we still don't know what they're gonna do after. All we get is Beyond. So
are you thinking that Marathon maybe drops like holiday of 20? So Final Shape comes out, let's say February or March of 24, and then Marathon will launch holiday season of 24.
I think they'll both come out the same year. Yeah, it would make sense. You got Destiny, and then Destiny story comes to a close, or like Light and Dark, maybe people want a break. So what other way to do that with another Bungie game? Marathon.
Okay.
How did they do? Well, how did they do the launch when Halo Reach ended, right? Going into Destiny 1.
So the thing is, Bungie made a deal to where after Halo 3, they had to make 2 more games. Once they made 2 more games, they were free from their contract and became independent from Microsoft. So they had the core group started working on Halo Reach. They had a side group that started working on ODST. If you remember, ODST launched, and they had like I bought like the $100 edition that came with like a ODST controller, and then the game came out. The game came with a disc for the ODST, and then it had a disc of it was just Halo 3 multiplayer, and it had all of the map packs and all that all on one disc. So the campaign and the firefight was on like disc 1. If you wanted to play multiplayer, you had to put disc 2 in order to do that. So that was like a side team that worked on the ODST campaign, which is why it was like a it was like a open city with like, I want to say 6 to 8 missions kind of sparse throughout that. And then everybody else was working on Halo Reach. While they were working on Halo Reach, there was like some subsection that was working on Tiger, which that was the code name for Destiny at the time. So Halo Reach came out, Chad, was it 2009?
It was either late 2008 or early 2009. I'm pretty sure it was early 2009.
Halo Reach came out it came out 2010, September of 2010.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I must be thinking of the beta, because I remember playing the beta quite a bit as well.
So that came out then, and then the Destiny release date was 9/9/14. So you had 4 games, or 4 years rather, essentially, between Reach and Destiny 1.
Yeah, so I do agree. It's gonna be after Lightfall. I mean, not Lightfall. Final Shape. Probably. So Final Shape, if it sticks with February, 6 months later, it's August, September time. Time to launch the new game. So maybe it's late 2024.
Is Marathon free to play, or is it a $70 release game?
I think there's going to be a base version for like $20, and then there'll be a deluxe version for $70. So base version is used as a one-time fee to play the game, and then a deluxe version will give you like extra storage space, some like extra cosmetics. You like level up faster, stuff like that.
Realistically, saying this as somebody that has never purchased nor played any sort of extraction shooter, but I've watched probably 20 to 25 hours on Twitch over the years. How long do you expect yourself to play this game?
It kind of depends on who's played it. Is it the couple of the old Halo buddies that used to like only play Halo, tried Destiny, hated Destiny, and dropped off? If they're playing it, and then like you guys are playing it, then like it's going to be happening a lot. Like I'm going to be playing it a lot. Like if this takes away some of my buddies that'll just die hard Call of Duty, buy it every year, and brings them over, then yeah, it's going to be great.
saying this, do you not feel that we've all fell off of our competitive shooter, like that itch that I know all of it. I used to be very competitive, like with shooters, and anymore, like I don't even care about Crucible, nor want to play anything competitive. Like, does that not worry you?
I think there's still going to be an element of collecting loot that will drive us.
Okay. There better be a lot of loot.
We can always hope.
Anybody have anything else to say before we go to question 2?
Nope.
Question 2. Which weapon this season have you looked at the most? I assume this isn't just about how beautiful the weapon looks, but maybe what roles you can, or perks you can look to get at on a weapon. Which one are you looking forward to the most, to grinding out?
I mean, of course, with Spare Rations coming back, you had to take a look at it, but it is dropping with the low stats right now. So Bungie is looking into that. Outside of Spare Rations, I got a shotgun to drop. I'm trying to find it. It's a new strand rapid fire frame shotgun, and I got auto loading holster and cascade point on it. And so, like, if you get that, you ramp up cascade point, it just empties that mag, and like, you know, it's called until its return. It just dumps that mag in probably like 2 seconds. It's pretty jarring, and I like it a lot.
I got nothing. Was doing lore reading and other stuff. It's too early in the season for me to not just default to what Jared's popular choices. So like there's so many last wish weapons that you can red border, which we'll talk about. There's a good amount of seasonal weapons and their taking counterparts. I haven't had a chance to slide through any of them. All I know is stay away from bipod, and there's a strand sword, and that's what I got.
Jared, what'd you say the name of that shotgun was?
Until its return.
Was that
that's the taken one, right?
Yeah, it's taken.
Okay. So was that Last Man Standing? Was that the shotgun that was in the Reckoning?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Honestly, Spare Rations was the first one I was looking at because I played many hours of Reckoning to get Spare Rations. Good rolls on a PvP and a PvE roll on Spare Rations. The PvE roll was just the curated roll. Saying that, we ran a little Last Wish last night, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that. I missed that raid, had a fun time. Pretty easy, pretty trivial as far as like damage and bosses and stuff are concerned. But Apex Predator, Jared had told us there's like some pretty crazy rolls to get on that. And also, I saw today, and I think I shared it in one of our Discord groups. But there is a pretty crazy roll you can get on Supremacy, which is the sniper rifle that comes from the Last Wish raid. And if you get Supremacy with 4 times the charm and the rewind rounds, you can shoot 46 consecutive shots without a reserve mod attached to that. That is just absolutely, that just blows my mind. Just thinking about firing 40. Now that's going to be, every shot's going to have to be a crit in order to do that. But 46 shots, that's crazy. And that's without any sort of damage. You know, that's just 4 times and rewind. So I am definitely going to be looking forward to that. So that's probably the one that I've looked at the most today.
All right. Question 3. Last Wish is the rotator this week, and red borders are available. Have you been back in yet? That's correct. We did a run last night. Took somebody in the clan through for the first run, and then a couple other people through that's like haven't really touched Last Wish for like a couple years. So yeah, we got in there and got our hands dirty.
Link, have you? What are your thoughts on Last Wish? Have you been in there very much?
I got 1,000. Never went back in. I want to go back in because I want to get a Chattering Bone. So I'm like, and I want to try and get another Tyranny of Heaven. That's like the one that I want. I want to get better with bows.
Let's get in there this weekend if you're free. I was thinking about I'd really like to grind Cali out since it's the rotator. We can get that challenge done real fast. Get those knocked out. The really cool part of this is if you make sure before you do a Last Wish, you go to Hawthorne and pick up the quest / bounty that she has. The reason is if you complete each encounter, it gives you you get to choose which red border that you want, and it actually counts for 2 as opposed to 1. We don't know. We assume that is currently is not as intended, that it should probably only count for 1. But when you got to get in when the getting's hot when it comes to Destiny and taking care of these. So make sure you get in, grab that from Hawthorne, do a quick run. I believe it was our first run in a long time. Had a couple first timers. We had to fully explain every encounter. And I think it took us exactly 96 minutes to do the entire raid. So, and I think we wiped once on the vault encounter, and I think we wiped like 5 or 6 times on Riven because we were having trouble with the sound cues because they changed them from what they used to be. So everything else was kind of a one bang. It's kind of trivial with our current power level and all that. So 2 out of 5, and I think most people got a red border along the way as well. And then you get a red border at the end once you complete the last encounter, and then you get 2 from Hawthorne. So you're guaranteed 3 a week at this time, and that's not any red border drops along the way.
All right. Number 4. This is a question for Link. Which instruments can you play, and then which bands / performers would you say you are your favorite inspiration? Your favorite, and then your inspiration.
Well, legitimately, I can play guitar and bass. I started playing bass, and I can play the French horn. So that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Bands and performers are my favorite or inspiration. Oh, there's so many. I can't narrow it down to just one thing because I listen to everything. So, I'll listen to, Slipknot or like old Rammstein, or I'll be listening to like Taylor Swift or like NSYNC or The Weeknd. Or if you go to the EDM side, it's like Nurko and Dylan Francis and Millennium. They're kind of all over the place, but I kind of use inspiration from all of them and then just kind of mesh things together. I get inspiration from it. Oh. Question.
So, in my opinion, The Weeknd might be the most annoying pop artist out there right now.
No.
I can't stand him.
Dog.
His voice
Dude,
just sends me up a wall.
I can't feel
It's
my
the
face when I'm
beats.
with you, Jared. Like, I love it.
I just like the 80s vibes because it's like 80s is coming back, disco is like back. You can hear it in all the pop music. So I'm big into it. So
All right, question 5. What are your Destiny plans for the rest of the week?
Holiday weekend, baby. Here. 3-day weekend. I get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So I will definitely be taking a lot of beverages in 2 of those 3 nights. Destiny plans. I think I'm going to be grinding out a few of those deep dives, some salvages. Also going to be grinding out. I really want to get back in to do that Last Wish Cali thing, because I think that's going to be one of those things we spend like 60 to 90 minutes in there, and all of us have like 5 red border fusion rifles. And is it Angel Bond that drops there, or Chattering Bone? I can't remember.
Angel Bond.
Yeah. So get 2 out of the 8 red borders done right there, and that'd be nice.
I'm just be in the seasonal well, I gotta obviously catch up my other 2 characters through the story. Warlock's almost done, and then my hunter, and then just sit in the seasonal activities, doing stuff. And then whenever Ryan's like, raid ? I'll answer to him. And if Jared asks me raid ? I'll ignore it. But if he goes dungeon ? I'll answer that one for sure. But definitely it's gonna be hard to not just be living in that dungeon, running with these guys, and then running with the Cali boys. Just spending some good amount of time just memorizing that stuff as much as possible for future endeavors.
Yeah, so big weekend here. So birthday weekend for me. So definitely got some activities planned that's not Destiny related. Going out and doing stuff. After work tomorrow, I'm playing 18 holes of golf and then coming home and doing the dungeon. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow. Saturday's going to be
You're gonna be drunk, son.
Yeah. And then Saturday's going to be a big gaming day. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, who knows? I took an extended weekend, so I'll be around.
Happy birthday. Early birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you gonna be? Like 25?
31.
Old AF, son.
Yep.
I'm going to be 35 this year, so I say that.
Proud
I
of you.
feel very old. Considering after August the 18th, I'm going to be closer to 50 than I am to 20. And that is hard to believe.
Oh,
Very hard to believe.
Yeah.
All right. Link, did you already answer this? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
What are my Destiny plans?
Yeah. Are you going to get in on the Last Wish with us a little?
Yeah, I'll more than likely jump into that Last Wish with you. Our King's Fall run was pretty good, so I was like, damn, I got a speed run medal for that. Yeah, I need to raid with them again. I think I'll probably.
We usually kind of get in and get out. We're fortunate enough to have 10 to 12 people to kind of be able to cherry pick from to get through stuff. But we always do try to take at least one person with us that hasn't been able to complete the content. Just in order to do that, if that's something you're interested in, hit us up on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Put a link in this YouTube video if you want to put a comment in the YouTube video. If you want to DM us on Twitter. We have a Discord channel you can join that we could do a better job of promoting probably. But there's several ways to get in touch with us. But we would love to help you through content that you haven't done for sure. The very last question that we have here is going to be the riddle that Jared and Chad absolutely hate, but us make them suffer through it every week. I thought this one was very much slightly Destiny related. The question is, what can go through glass without breaking it?
Oh, I get
it. If you have it, just hold the answer. We'll give everybody like 5 to 10 seconds to think about it. What can go through glass without breaking it? Jared, since you have it, we'll let you go last. Chad, got anything?
No.
Link, anything?
Well, my initial thought was my ex-wife, but I don't think that would work. So,
R.I.P.
Go ahead I'm gonna go ahead and say wind. No.
Okay.
It's light. Light can go through windows.
Jared got it. Jared got it. Jared, would you have got it without the Destiny, the little hint that I gave there?
I think so. Maybe not as quick, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Saying that, sincerely, Link, thank you. You've really helped spice up our podcast with the music and everything. Always, you've been very easy. Such a pleasure to work with. Thank you so much. If you're interested, follow him on Twitter at LinkofTimeG. I believe he said his YouTube and everything is all the same. I'm going to allow him to sign off and make sure you tell us everywhere we can reach you and all that.
Yeah. As again, thank you for having me and allowing me to be a part of this and to make the music as well. Pretty much everywhere. So if you just Google the old LKIS on iTunes and Spotify, you'll find me there, and you'll find all the Destiny stuff that I put out on YouTube as well. So, and Twitter and YouTube is just LinkofTimeG.
Oh yeah, thanks for hanging out, Link. It was breath of fresh air to have somebody else to talk to and riff off of for the podcast. Always look forward to that intro music. It always sets the tone for the episode, and then like after that, it's just up to us to keep it up. So we usually, do our best, but I know looking forward to Season of Deep. Make sure to hit us up. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be fishing. Like even if I'm just chilling in the EDZ or whatever fishing, just join and just say, hey, I'm just here to fish too. And we'll get that meter up there pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely happy to have you here. Always enjoy your work. The once we heard the new music, once Ryan got it all figured out, I was hyped. It was really cool, and I was enjoying it very much. But yeah, if you see Jared in the EDZ, he's more than happy to fish with you. I'll join him and fish with him too. He's my fishing buddy. But yeah, Season of Deep's looking like it's got a little bit of lore coming in. So we got some good stuff coming in the future here.
Go Cats. Love you guys.